get into some songs. Why not? You know. One I like very much is Hollow Stone, and I've listened to it again and again and again, and I think you've spent a lot of time on that song. Are you obsessed with details, like that little snare sound back in the mix, you know?
No, we don't really obsess about it that much. I think we have a pretty clear understanding of what we want, and it comes very easy for us. It becomes very natural for us to do that kind of sound. So no, it actually didn't take that long to make that song. It was pretty. It was actually one of the most simple songs to do. Actually,
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was one of the songs that just, you know, there were songs on the last album that we definitely spend a lot more time working on, you know, production-wise, how to go about it, like Last Dance, which is a more unusual song for us, that took longer for us to, you know, get the direction for the sound and the production, where Heart of Stone was very immediate and spontaneous.
It's quite dark too. It's very light sometimes, but it's dark as well. If you take Boys or Rape, okay, it's quite a dark song actually. It is. So you're very serious about that.
Well, I mean, I guess we like to work with juxtapositions within, you know, music and lyrics and thematics, and you know, a song like Boys Who Rape Should All Be Destroyed has seemingly is very upbeat and fun and celebratory sounding, but thematically it's very tragic and serious. So I think we just find it interesting to have those, the opposites, the juxtapositions, and it kind of makes it maybe a little bit more confrontational and controversial, and kind of makes people really think about it, you know, when it sounds all happy and then it's kind of a lot of tragedy. So that's just an interesting tension for us.
Is that an issue you had in mind? You knew you wanted someday to do something about it, right?
It's not like it's not necessarily a thought out process, it's more of an intuitive process, you know, what feels right, I would say.
If we talk about the music, this great guitar sound, you know, one thinks, of course, of the Shadows, the Ventures, and have you listened to those bands a lot when you were younger?
Yeah, I mean, sort of grew up on that 50s, early 60s style, and
it's quite,
you know, amongst other
yeah.
things, you know, it's not like, you know, it's not like we grew up and only listened to 50s and 60s music. That was just something we were introduced to, but you know, we listened to all types of music really, but as far as guitar playing goes, and sound goes, I think we took that the element of maybe some early surf music and maybe some rockabilly stuff, and sort of made it our own by making it a little bit more raunchy and adding a little bit more reverb to it, and sort of played around with it a little bit. Made some interesting guitar parts that both of us can play.
It's quite funny to hear adding a little more reverb to it, because they themselves, the Ventures and even Dwayne Eddy, added lots of reverb.
Yeah.
So you're pushing the concept further.
Yeah, just more.
Yeah. Okay. The guests. I mean, how did you get in touch with Ronnie Spector and Mo Tucker? And how did that happen?
Well, we just got in touch with them. And
but because you wanted to? Or?
Yeah, we had we specifically contacted the three of the guests that we had, also Martin Rev from Suicide, and we were obviously very you know, nervous about whether they were gonna be interested in participating or contributing, and they said yes. So, and Richard Goddera, whom we've been working with, who's like a kind of a classic in the music industry, he's been working with us on producing and sort of supervising. And he also, you know, sort of is from the same generation as Ronnie, and they knew each other they'd never met, but they were aware of each other. So he was the one who sort of, you know, contacted her and asked her, and then so it all worked out, and it was obviously very flattering for us that they said yes and they wanted to be part of our album. It was fun.
What's Suicide about, the song?
The song?
Yeah. What is it about?
About suicide.
Yeah. It's about suicide.
Yeah.
What about the run away, little girl? You know, it's run away from suicide.
No, it's just about people who have a hard time dealing with their issues, you know, and especially young people in that sense. And so there's a lot of bittersweet tragedy in that song as well. And all those songs were based on people that we know, you know, both in the drugs and suicide and rape too. So in that sense, it's very sad actually, because it was written with a lot of these friends of mine that have either been raped or people we know who have committed suicide, or so we sort of just draw from personal experiences, and so for us it's quite sad, you know.
How does it translate on stage, that sound? Is it easy to translate on stage? Do you have to choose to force some of the effects, the guitar, the reverb, how did it translate? I was wondering, I've never seen you live.
Well, it depends, because we have different, we play in different constellations, you know. Sometimes Sharon and I just play, just the two of us, and sometimes we play with 3 people, and right now we're 4 people, and sometimes we play with a lot of samples, computers and stuff, and sometimes we play without. And right now we're playing without computers and samples or anything, so we're just 4 people on stage playing.
So what's the lineup now? What is it, the lineup now? Bass, guitar, drums?
Sue and I play guitar, sing, and then we have a bass player and a drummer. And it's a very minimal setup. The drummer just
What about the keyboards? No keyboards?
No keyboards.
Because you had some great gas organ on some of the tracks.
Oh yeah. We like to
Don't you miss that on stage?
We do sometimes, but we do one tour we'll do with, and one tour we'll do without, and it depends on what we're in the mood for doing, because by the end of the day we have to really like the show and enjoy playing the songs, and right now we're really enjoying just playing like an old rock and roll band basically.
Sure.
So it's fun. It
goes straight to my heart.
Yeah, it has a nice, very.
Although I like the gas organ actually.
It's very raw, and I think that was interesting for us to do that again. We like the sort of contrast with an album that was very. This album was probably the most produced album in a way, you know, and then to actually play live, make it the opposite of that, very kind of raw and simple.
Festivals, you play all sorts of venues, you know, all the time. So what about festivals? This is, as I said,
festivals
our Roskilde here. You know.
Festivals are fun. They are, they can be a challenge, because festivals typically have a lot of offers for people. You know, there's a lot of shows at the same time, but it's so you have to catch people's interest, because they have like like a short attention span. I think because there's so much stimulation when you go to a festival, but that's also, you know, it's a fun challenge to sort of try and make new fans, and so.
Thank you very much.
Merci.
Thank you.
Tack för det.